This channel is for adults and not for kids. Hey guys, thanks for stopping back by. So today is May 1st, it's Mayday, and I thought that I would recommend some really cool, what I call pagan horror movies for you guys to check out. The term that everybody uses nowadays is folk horror, but I don't like that term because, like, folk horror to me sounds like you're at some sort of like Wicca fair, and you're buying a friendship bracelet from some chick that doesn't shave her armpits. Like, that's the mental image I get from folk horror. I've always referred to this genre as pagan horror, and I think that drives it home a lot better. So, pagan horror deals with the beliefs in the old religion, in what people would call magic, or the old Celtic belief systems, pre-Christian, heathen, pagan religions and their belief systems. So, witch movies and magic movies, all of that is sort of shoved into this pagan horror or folk horror. So I've got 5 movies that I've pulled out of my collection to recommend to you guys. And because it's a weeknight, I'm only going to have time to watch one of these. And it's the best one in the bunch that I'm going to watch. So anyway, let's get to the list. These are 5 recommendations if you want to get all pagan-y on Mayday. So obviously, first up is The Witch from 2015. This is an awesome movie. I went and saw this at the theater twice. I love this damn film. The way that the witchcraft is handled, the way that the devil shows himself in Black Phillip is just super cool. The soundtrack to this movie is real unnerving. I was going to say the music, but it's almost not even music. It's more like sort of like industrial sounds, but not quite mechanical enough to be industrialist sounds. More like I don't know. It's just sort of nightmarish sounding, like noises, like sort of like metal clanging on metal. It's hard to describe, but it's an awesome, unnerving soundtrack. Yes, it's music, but just trying to define it. I don't know. It's very cool. Yeah, highly recommend this one. This is probably my second favorite movie in this bunch that I'm showing you guys. So this came out in 2015. I'm sure you've all seen it, but this is a perfect movie to watch when you want to get into those witchy, pagan-like vibes. The Witch. Yeah, man, such a good film. Next up, this is Hagazusa, and this came out in 2017. Hagazusa is an old ancient German word, like from the beginning of the Germanic language. It's called Old High German. Hagazusa is basically an Old High German word for witch. This is another cool one. How do I define this one? This one and the next one I'm about to show you guys aren't what I would call like plot driven. It's sort of like situational horror. You just kind of watch it and it unfolds around you. Kind of dream logic, where it just like transpires in front of you. You're just along for the ride, watching it all. Very witchy, very pagan-y. Yeah, old religion, pre-Christian, dark and mysterious, and things in the night to be feared. This is a good film. I highly recommend this one. I can't really... How do I describe it? There's a young girl. Yeah, if I describe too much of this to you, it's going to ruin it. You just got to watch this one. Trust me. If you guys watch my channel and you know the kind of stuff that I dig, and it's the same stuff that you would like, check this one out. Hagazusa. If you're in a witchy, pagan type of mood, this is a dark, nightmarish, dream logic following witch movie. It's really good. I'm not going to ruin it too much by trying to decipher the plot to you guys, because, you know, at least two of these movies aren't really like plot centric. Like, it doesn't go from point A to point B. It's more like point A to point F to point X. Like, it's all over the place. But when you take it in as a whole, it's the atmosphere that it creates. It's this feeling of dread and fear of not knowing what's out there in the forest, in the woods, in the dark. Humans are just a little piece of this giant puzzle. The bigger, darker forces at play don't really give a fuck about people. We're sort of inconsequential to the mechanism of the universe. That's this. And that, I would say that is also this. This is November, also from 2017. It was like a banner year for witch movies in 2017. So 2017, this is November. It's another black and white, disturbing, scary. This one's cut into acts. There's like, how many? Probably like 4 or 5 acts during this movie. So like mini types of movies within this movie. You know what I mean? This one, there's something cool. There's like these animated things that come to life. So like a person will take like a scythe, you know, like a sickle, and they'll take parts from a wagon and a shovel, just like junk, and they tie it all together, and then they use magic and invoke like life to it. Kind of like Jewish mysticism has the golem. It's kind of like that, where they can bestow an animated like life to these inanimate objects, and the thing is your servant. So you'll create this monstrosity out of parts like kitchen knives for teeth, and whatever, a broken fan, something, a kitchen table. Like you'll put all these parts together and you'll zap it, and it'll be your servant, and you can command it to go do things for you, and it has to obey. That's in here. There's a lot of cool magical stuff that happens in this, and it's like I said, like 4 or 5 segments. But it's a lot like this in, like, I wouldn't say it's plot driven. This one and this one are more or less movies to be experienced. Like, if you want to get a really good scare, if you want a good vibe of pagan spookiness, these two films, Hagazusa and November, are great for that. Like, yeah, as long as you can switch that part off in your head where you're totally invested in a plot, like character goes from here to here and there's a, like an arc, and as long as you can switch that off and just experience like a bunch of weirdness. If you guys are David Lynch fans, like I'm a David Lynch fan, then these two are right up your alley. It's just like a David Lynch with a pagan magic evil twist. Yeah. Again, I can't really explain too much about this without ruining a whole hell of a lot, because there's not a whole ton of plot to it. I can basically say some shit like a young witch finds herself, but is that really what it's all about? Like, you guys should experience these. You should experience these. Yeah, that sounds better than you guys should watch these. Those are films that you should just like experience them. Kind of along those same lines, this film really, really follows dream logic. This is Valerie and her Week of Wonders from 1970. This is a beautiful and bizarre film. If ever a movie followed dream logic, it's this one. There's witches and paganism galore. There's like a vampiric creature. Characters switch, like someone will be your lover, and then in the next scene it's your father. Like, there's all this like weird Jungian psychology going on in this movie. This one follows dream logic, where how like in a dream you'll be talking to one person and then they just switch up and it's somebody completely different, but in your mind it makes sense. Like, you don't question it. You're not like, holy shit, that was my, I was talking to my friend and now it's my third grade teacher. But like in your brain, in the dream, it just flows and makes sense and you don't question it. This movie does that type of shit where it's like a character will be something and then you're looking at it, it's the same actor, but now it's represents something different. So yeah, dream logic. Big time dream logic. But this movie is beautiful and scary at the same time. Like, a lot of the cinematography and a lot of what you see is very pretty. And it's just gorgeous to look at. And then at other times, there's like some pretty creepy shit going on. This is the only one this is the least pagan-y, the least witchy out of this whole bunch. But I feel that it can be in this list also. Yeah, it's not as it's not as witchy as this or as this, but it's definitely in the same ballpark. Like, if I had to pick a genre to fit this film in, besides, art house horror movie, I would say it's pagan horror. So that one came out the year I was born. This is from 1970. Okay, the last one on the list. This is the best movie in the bunch, and this is the one that I'll be watching tonight. And I still have to upgrade this to Blu-ray, so shame on me for not getting the Blu-ray yet. But this is The Wicker Man. This movie is awesome. This movie came out in 1973. This movie has Hammer royalty. It's got Christopher Lee and Ingrid Pitt both in it. I'm sure you guys have all seen this movie. This is awesome. This one really taps into the whole pagan belief system and like it's funny how many like pre-Christian pagan types of traditions and holidays that we still follow. People follow these ancient traditions without even question. Like Christmas is very much Christmas and Easter and especially Halloween. They're all, and Mayday. They're all at their root from pagan traditions and pre-Christian belief systems, pre-Christian holidays. And yeah, this puts it right in your face with their burning Wicker Man and their pagan dances and their songs and their belief systems in the reincarnation of people as animals, and how there's no like the Christian death where people die and then you're judged and you go to either the place where the good people go or the place where the bad people go. These folks believe more in a returning to the earth, where you could come back as a tree or, as another person or an animal, but they believe in this circular cycle, not so much a beginning and end, and then you're off to the great beyond. They're more of a life is continuous and takes many different forms. Christopher Lee is fucking amazing in this movie. I don't so much like the hairpiece he wears in this film. It distracts just a little bit because it looks so uncharacteristic of Christopher Lee. Like, when you see him as Dracula or in the Hammer films, he's like got this slick, well manicured look, and he definitely has like a poofy sort of 70s haircut. But it can be forgiven because this movie just rocks. This movie is awesome. And this is not the clusterfuck nightmare that Nicolas Cage remake was, where he's got all the bees on him. This isn't that. This is way scarier. The joyfulness that the pagans take in roasting the Christian cop alive in the Wicker Man, the joyfulness as they're all singing, it's terrifying. Whether they're Christians or pagans, anytime a group of people is so worked up in a fervor and they all think they're completely right, that's terrifying. And you see it in their eyes, you see it in their faces. They're so sure that what they're doing is correct. And yeah, like I said, you see that in these extremist Christian groups, or you see it in these crazy fucking pagans, is human beings, when they get in a group and they all think that what they're doing is 100% correct and it's right and it's the one way and it's the one true way and everybody else is wrong. That's some terrifying shit when you see it in their faces and you see it in their eyes, and it's so joyous to them. That's terrifying. People are fucking terrifying. Yeah. People are nuts, and groups are nuts, and you want to have a belief system, that's fine, but anytime you start growing in numbers and everybody is of the same mind and you start getting that herd mentality, that's a dangerous fucking thing. And that's when people start dropping dead, or like old Detective Howie ends up being roasted alive. No, spoiler. But, the movie came out in 1973. If you guys haven't seen that, that's not my fucking fault. Like, it's a horror classic. Everybody watching this video right now should have seen that. So not shame on me. Shame on you for not seeing it before this year. Anyway, I just wanted to say hi and recommend 5 really cool, spooky witchy, pagan horror movies. Just wanted to say hi. As you can see, I shaved all that shit off my face. My girlfriend won't be too happy, but I feel human again. I feel less like a werewolf. Anyway, just wanted to say hi, guys. Take it easy. Hope you have a nice Mayday. Watch a scary folk horror movie. A nice pagan horror film. And I will catch up with you guys really soon. All right. Bye.